Hey everyone, it's Jay Soloff from Netpicks, and today we're going to answer the question, is Coinbase a good stock for an iron condor? So here I am at Thinkorswim. I'm looking at a chart of Coinbase. Now, generally speaking, when someone asks about any sort of specific stock and whether it's good for an iron condor, my answer is almost always it depends. Just because the situation can be very different depending on the stock. It also matters what general market volatility is doing and what the geopolitical state is, right? So, if you're worried about a war in the Middle East breaking out and you're looking at an oil stock, obviously that's something you want to take into account. Is there going to be a Fed announcement the next day? So take all that stuff into account, look at general market volatility, and then you want to look at the stock specifically. And just about any stock, you still, despite iron condors really being a technical trade where you're looking at pricing and volatility and mean reversion potential and trending and that sort of thing, you still want to look at fundamentals. You still want to look at the news items, make sure that there's nothing crazy going on. Is there a lawsuit that's about to be filed, et cetera, right? So just be, cross your T's basically, right? Dot the I's. Just make sure you look at everything. Now generally I look at something like Coinbase and I say, well, let's look at the pricing, but this one's a little bit easy in this particular situation. I would say I'm not touching Coinbase for an iron condor at this time. And that's because the stock has done nothing but really go up steeply. And that's not a good iron condor situation. Iron condors are something where you want to trade it, something to trade in a range or slow trend higher or slow trend lower. If it's the sort of thing that's going to shoot higher or shoot lower, a lot of times you're going to, no matter how wide you put your range, if it's worth selling that iron condor, remember, it's selling a call spread, selling a put spread. If it's worth selling it and getting enough money, we're looking at a 20% at least return, cash on cash return. If it's, if it's going to be worth getting that amount, it's probably going to be too close. It's going to feel comfortable. You want to put on the trade and be able to sleep at night. And, there are periods here that, here's a period in particular where Coinbase probably would have been great for an iron condor until it wasn't, right? So a lot of periods. I think Coinbase actually looks like generally pretty good iron condor stock, but there's some periods where it's just been too volatile. And lately, of course, this is it's about $120 range and big bars, and it's just not the sort of thing that you really want to mess with when you're trying to find something that trades in a range. So looking at this right now, I would say no. Looking at it other periods, again, if you had asked me, in May, we would have had a good solid month and a half of really good iron condor trades, right? Or even before that. I mean, there's a lot of periods. So I would say Coinbase a lot of times is a good iron condor stock, but when it's not, right? So for iron condors, you want something to be volatile so that you can get enough premium from selling your options, but not too volatile to where you're worried about it whipsawing out and through your range and needing to make adjustments or rollouts or close it early, right? So the smoother the better, right? But if it's too smooth and it doesn't move enough, there's going to be no premium. So you got to find that sweet spot in between not too volatile and not volatile enough. So that's my take on Coinbase as an iron condor stock. Catch you again in the near future with other answers to your questions. See you soon.
Everything discussed here is our opinion, and it is not to be taken as investment advice because we are not your financial advisor, nor have we considered your personal situation as your fiduciary. This presentation is for your education and entertainment only. Please review Netpicks' full risk disclaimer and privacy policy.